Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here at Baxter Cycle in the mighty Minitropolis of Marnie in the magic back room. We'll take a walk around here in a minute, but check this thing out. This is a kind of a project bike. They just got it in the door. They're not really sure what they're going to do for it. It is for sale, but it's a 1975 Triumph Trident T160. Really caught my eye. One is the color, but a friend of mine had one of these growing up, so I've got a little bit of experience with these little hot rods. Really interesting looking motorcycle in a lot of ways. So what is it? It's a 741cc, 60 horsepower, 3-cylinder, air-cooled 3-cylinder. Check that out. Just a really neat motor. It's a 3-cylinder, but it's called a 3 into 4 into 2 exhaust system. Check that out. The center one splits on either side of the frame there. So 3 cylinders, 4 pipes, 2 outlets on the back. Kickstart only? Nope, it's got electric start. 75, I think, was the first year for the electric start. And that's the starter right there. 3M all carburetors. I think I found that they were 27 millimeters. Yeah, 3M all concentric, 27 millimeters. Big old oil cooler on the front. This, I think, I don't know if it was the first year for disc, but it had disc brakes. 254 millimeters is the diameter that I found. Check that out. And I think that was the same front and rear. Take a look at that. There's the back one. The caliper hangs on the back there. Isn't that something? Dual shocks in the back, of course, framed. Look at that seat. Really interesting looking motor. Choke right there, of course, carbureted. Like I said, I'm 3ML carburetors. This is probably the tack drive right here. Look at all that metal in the front. 35 millimeter forks. So the diameter of these tubes are 35 millimeter. A friend of mine that had one of these, we went riding one day, and I don't know how fast we were going, but this thing kept up with my bike, and I had a pretty fast Yamaha back in those days, so I was pretty impressed with that because I just, very few bikes that keep up with me. And so this, I think, was supposed to go about 120 miles an hour, and he got in my draft and was able to maybe get a couple miles more than that. Just a beautiful machine, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous to my eye. Very unique. There's a horn here. Just a lot of little details, I think there's 3 sets of points under here. I'm guessing it's overhead valves with cams down here. Of course, like I said, the 3 sets of points underneath there. I believe there's 3 sets. 5-speed transmission, by the way. Here's a Kickstarter. Like I said, the electric starter right there. Airbox, the coils are back there. And I assume there's more than one. Can't really tell. I don't know if there's an oil tank or if this is a dry sump. Check out the linkage back here for the carburetors. Yeah, that's, y'all see that moving? Very interesting. Just a thing of beauty to my eye. 19s front and rear. I think they were 4.1 by 19. So, and back in the day, that was very common. We had thin tires on the back of motorcycles still. Just an absolute, to my eye, like I said, a real beauty of a motorcycle. Smith gauges. These are magnetic by now. Tachometer on this side. Speedo on that side. I always mention there's a fellow down the road here that works on the Smith gauges. He can print new faces, put new glass, whatever you need, rebuild the interiors. I don't know if this thing has a battery. I don't think so. This says neutral light, turn signals up here, ignition light, high beam light right there. Over here, this is high-low for the lights, so I'm guessing that's that. Blinker, horn. Hey, they're even labeled on this side anyway. Over here, we've got, I don't know what that is. Maybe a kill switch. Hydraulic brakes, these are the ancient style front hydraulic brake caliper from back in the day. Single cable to run all 3 carbs. One of those diode rectifiers or whatever you want to call them. Just a beautiful thing, isn't it? Metal, everything, of course. There was no plastic back then, Gorgeous machine. Very nostalgic to somebody. I don't remember the pipes like this, but then I got thinking, he had a hooker header, 3-in-1 hooker header on his. So I don't know if this is what comes with them or if these are an aftermarket, but they do say Norton Triumph on them. I think They were consolidated by that point, the two companies. Very interesting motorcycle. I just love the way all this looks. Like I said, this is probably a good project bike. I don't know. Get a hold of Baxter Cycle, baxtercycle.com if you're interested in this hot rod. I really like the color in that. My friend's bike was what they called midnight blue, almost black. And I think it actually looks better in a brighter color. Lovely machine. Lovely. Of course, here's a whole slew of other Triumphs. There's a couple triples back there, but hey, life is good. Life is good. We got 7 inches of snow the other day, and so there's no riding for me today. But if it's nice where y'all are at, get out and ride, my friends. Wahoo!